For years, I've seen those insane commercial router frames. You know the ones, they're perfectly machined, super precise, and cost a fortune. Systems from the big brands can cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And they're great, but I knew there had to be a cheaper way for everyone to build amazing things. My challenge was to design something that was cheap, easy to build, could adjust to anything, and was perfectly accurate. This frame had to do everything from cutting massive dados to tiny, perfect inlays. And it had to work with my smallest router, my biggest router, and any router I buy for the rest of my life without needing a new part. What I came up with is what we're building today. It has completely changed my entire workflow, and it's about to change yours, too. Alright, let's get to building. The foundation of this jig is the use of a cargo batten that is 20 mm thick and 70 mm wide. First 4 fence pieces are cut, each 49 cm long. Then 4 pieces are cut, each 14 cm long, and these are placed at the end of the long battens as caps, protruding over the end of the long battens by 7 cm. The center of the end face of each cap is drilled and a M8 double-ended screw is fixed in the drilled hole. Finally, 4 pieces are cut, each 5.4 cm long. Each of these pieces is drilled at its center so that the double-ended screw can pass through. One can easily make the main long battens longer or shorter to fit their needs. The absolute key here is that the dimensions above are kept as shown. Once the double-ended screws are passed through the holes in the small pieces, a large washer is used and then a knob is offered to the screw so that the small end pieces can be tightened to the end face of the cap batten. Self-adhesive anti-slip tape strips are applied to the end face of the long batten and to the lower part of the small end pieces to improve grip. It is easy to visualize that the end construction of each long batten forms an adjustable length bridge that can firmly hold the width of each long batten at a position of our choice. Now, we'll mount each bridge-like arrangement on the plain part of each long batten, and we shall tighten the knobs so as to hold each batten at the location we desire. Mounting the long battens on the adjustable bridges we created is what gives this design its unique rigidity and simplicity. This is an easy construction arrangement which enables us to completely take apart or reconfigure the jig in seconds, without having to employ complicated designs which are difficult to build. And just like that, our 4 fence pieces are done. Now for the magic. Let's put this frame together and see it in action. I'll lay out my 4 fence pieces in a rectangle and tighten the knobs so that the bridges hold the system tightly and securely together. You can immediately see how it all works. By loosening the knobs, I can slide each fence on its own, changing the length and width of the inside rectangle. I can make a long, narrow slot or a big, wide square. Once I get the size I want, I just tighten the 4 knobs, and the whole frame becomes incredibly rigid. The 4 long battens are easy to interlock and the whole system is surprisingly strong. Let's make a test cut. Let's imagine that I need to route an opening for a router table insert plate. I'll just take the measurements of the router table insert plate and draw them on a piece of chipboard. I have marked this area with the letter A inside the frame. I shall then snug the fences to the larger rectangle that I have marked with the letter B. This larger rectangle is drawn to account for the offset between my router's spiral upcut bit and the circumference of the router's subbase. So, now I'll place the frame over my workpiece, and after having made all of the necessary preparations and adjustments I shall tighten everything down. I have used 2 clamps to hold the router frame and the workpiece on my bench. So, what remains is to grab my router. I'll set my plunge depth so that it makes a first shallow cut and I shall place the router subbase against the inside of the fence. Since I shall be routing inside the frame, I shall move the router clockwise. The router slides smoothly and it follows the fence perfectly, and because the frame is locked down tight, the cut is clean and precise. Patience produces the desired results. After 4 successive increments of the plunge depth, this new router frame has enabled me to achieve a perfect rectangular opening, exactly the size I needed. My greatest satisfaction is to see, after testing for the first time this new adjustable router frame design, that it does produces more than satisfactory results. Let's talk about what you'll need. The real beauty of this design is its simplicity and that it relies on common workshop materials. I bet you have most of this stuff lying around already. For the main structure, we're using a 20mm wood batten. Alternatively, one can use MDF. You'll need 4 identical strips that will become our adjustable fences. Now, the heart of this whole thing is a clamp arrangement at one end of each fence. You'll need 4 small lengths of wood batten, plus 4 screws for each cap to lock them all down. You'll also need 4 small lengths of wood batten to form the small end clamping blocks. Each cap is fitted with a double-ended screw. This is what lets the frame expand, contract, and lock down solidly at whatever dimension you need. For all other hardware, it's really just 4 large washers and 4 knobs. That's it. No complicated joinery, no specialized parts. As for tools, this is a very approachable project. So a table saw is perfect. You'll need a drill for a few holes and some hand tools everyone has in their workshop. This jig has completely changed how I approach any task that needs precise, rectangular routing. It's just so fast to set up and so accurate. If you found this video helpful and you're excited to build your own, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future projects. I put a lot of time into designing and testing these builds, and your support really does help. Also, I've put together a full set of appropriate links for this adjustable router frame. They include a complete hardware list. You can find a link to these data down in the description. So there you have it, an awesome, adjustable router frame that you can build in an afternoon from some wood leftovers and common hardware. It's a design that solves the real-world problems of cost and complexity you get with those expensive commercial jigs. It's incredibly versatile, letting you quickly and accurately route dados, grooves, and recesses of almost any size. And best of all, it's going to work with every router in your shop, today and in the future. For me, the best shop jigs are the ones that are simple, effective, and actually get used all the time. This one checks all those boxes. It's not going to be one of those jigs that hangs on a wall collecting dust, it's going to become a go-to tool for a huge range of tasks. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I can't wait to see what you all build with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.